So a longtime buddy of mine, Andy, Turbo's Toy Box, link to his channel below. I couldn't resist myself. I've been working on trying to buy this car for like a year. I have no idea why, other than like relive my youth maybe, or give it to my kid so he can do what I did. But yeah, should be a fun little project. Get it going again. It has an H22 swap, but I don't know, I'm getting conflicting stories. He said it was low oil pressure or something and possibly spun a rod or main bearing. I'll dig into it. I'll take you guys along for the journey. We'll get it figured out and we'll get this thing running again. Try to give you a quick rundown of what we're looking at here and why I purchased it. So it has a bunch of kind of like cool parts, you know, the back when, you know, guys were building these cars, you know, you would see a lot of these parts common, you know, like you have the strut bar, you know, it's a name brand, all that stuff, and the intake and header and H22A swap, which, like I said, this one's got, we suspect maybe a spun bearing or a bad bearing or something. I don't know if I'm going to tear into it or just buy a whole nother long block and just throw it in there. I'm not really sure yet. You know, upgraded half radiator aluminum, carbon hood. In the back, I'll show you, there's upgraded 1-inch master. This is the 13/16, the stock one that came on these 97 Civics. I think this is an LX because it has the power locks and power windows. But I do have the 1-inch master, so I can swap that out because it does have the upgraded brakes too. So it has front and rear disc with offered like a DC Integra. And it has these J-Speed wheels. Says NK. The tires, for some clue of how long this has been sitting, I don't know if it's been sitting 7 years or 10 years. I'm getting conflicting information, but you can see the date on the tire. It's the 26th week of the year 2014. So yeah, those are out of date. Yeah, this car's been sitting quite a while. So carbon mirrors, the inside, I'm gonna do some changes, but it has, you know, it's been gutted. It has the Takata seat belts. I'm not sure what seats these are, but they're carbon seats. I think it was a factory manual car. Nardi steering wheel. Looks like it has a wideband in it. AEM wideband. Airbag delete. And I'll have to pop the trunk. This cage is gonna get cut out. I'm gonna cut this cage out. It's not anything that I would be willing to run. But so to go through this car, I'm gonna have to pull the engine and transmission out and kind of go through it because it's been sitting so long. But this cage is gonna have to come out. I have to reconfigure some things for the harness. I can either fabricate something or I can come up with something to make that work. In the back, you know, you can't put seats back in it without doing some major work because he kind of shaved it, which is fine. This is just going to be a toy. And then we have a outdated Odyssey battery, which is dead, completely dead because it was on a trickle charger. Comes with some extra like alignment knuckles here. Another short ram intake, which is unnecessarily heavy. There's the master, 1-inch master with booster. Looks like we got some wiper blades. I think these are more alignment. Yeah, these are the upper control arms for the front. And then in here, some miscellaneous stuff. Looks like there's an upgraded K-Tune shifter box. Just some miscellaneous stuff. And then underneath the car, if we can see it, you know, it has all the suspension goodies. So we'll have to go through all that. You know, anytime you buy a car, someone else abandoned project, you have to go through it. You have to go through every nut and bolt. Basically take it apart, put it back together. So that's the way that works. So if you guys are interested, I'll take you along the journey on it. This is not my first time doing this. It's been a long time, and I've never messed around with the H series. Not a huge fan of the H series, but if I get a good one in there that works, maybe I will be a fan because they have a little bit more torque. And I do have to figure out the computer. It's a chipped P28 for Honda, but it was tuned for this particular setup. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get like a stock H22 tune reflashed on there, and then maybe just put a stock H22 in here. Check out the clutch, all that good stuff, and see how it all functions, and get this thing running. Just takes time and money. I don't have either. Wish me luck.